I am the repairer of the breach. It is time for thee, Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law. It's Xavier Echeverria, the repairer of the breach, the restorer paths the dwelling of God's moral law is 10 commandments, God's law of love written with the finger of God in Exodus 31:18 or Deuteronomy 9:10. Your first 4 commandments are your love for God. Your next 6 commandments are your love for one another. We're going to be going over what the contrast is between God's moral law, the 10 commandments, and the ceremonial law, the sacrificing of animals. We're going to see what was done away with and what wasn't. Okay, the contrast between the moral law, the 10 commandments, and the ceremonial law. If you have a pen or pencil, write this stuff down, or if you have a notepad, write this stuff down. So here we go. Let's go over this. Number 1, the moral law, the 10 commandments, was written on stone in Exodus 24:12, Exodus 31:18, or Deuteronomy 9:10. The ceremonial law, the sacrificial system, was written in a book by Moses, and that's in 2 Chronicles 35:12. And number 2, the moral law, the 10 commandments, was spoken by God in Deuteronomy chapter 4, verses 12 and 13. And the ceremonial law, the sacrificing of animals, was spoken by Moses in Leviticus 1:1-3. The moral law, the 10 commandments, stands forever in Psalms 111, verse 7 and 8. And the ceremonial law, the sacrificial system, was nailed to the cross in Colossians 2:14-17. The moral law, the 10 commandments, gives us the knowledge of sin in Romans 3:20 and Romans 7:7. The ceremonial law, the sacrificial system, gives us the knowledge of sin in Galatians 3:19. The moral law, the 10 commandments, was called the royal law of liberty. It liberates us from sin, and that's in James 2, chapter 2, verses 8-12. The ceremonial law, the sacrificial system, the sacrificing of animals, was called law contained in ordinances, Ephesians 2:15. The moral law, the 10 commandments, judges all man, James chapter 2, verses 10-12. The ceremonial law judges no man, and that's in Colossians 2:14-17. The moral law, the 10 commandments, was put inside of the Ark of the Covenant, and that's in Hebrews 9:4 and Exodus 40, verse 20. The ceremonial law, the sacrificial system, was put in the side of the Ark of the Covenant. Not inside it, but in the side of it. And that's in Deuteronomy chapter 31, verses 24 and 26. The moral law, the 10 commandments, was not grievous towards us. And that's in 1 John 5:3. And the ceremonial law, the animal sacrifices, was contrary to us. And that's in Colossians chapter 2, verses 14-17. The moral law, the 10 commandments, was spiritual. That's in Romans 7:14. And the ceremonial law, the sacrificial system, was carnal. It was worldly. And that's in Deuteronomy chapter 9, verse 10. So that's the contrast between the two. These will be with us till the end of time. This was done away at the cross, Colossians 2:14-17. So that's the difference between the two. So those who say and claim that the 10 commandments are done away with, that's false, and that's bearing false witness. The 10 commandments is who God is. That's His being. So that's why we need to obey them. That's it for now. It's Xavier Chaveria. I am the repairer of the breach.